so much for always having me. Today I share with us a very personal experience. I think I remember I've only shared with Daniel from church because I had to relate it to something, but I've not really shared this, and I'm leaving it with all of us today. So whilst on campus, if you ever knew me on campus in my undergraduate studies at the University of Professional Studies, back between 2008 and 2012, you would know that my name was literally synonymous to SIFE then, which is now Enactus. So SIFE was then Students in Free Enterprise. I love to do social work, so we're using what we're being taught in class to solve real life situations. So I'd been in SIFE from 2009, January thereabout, till 2012 when I had left school. So in my last year in school, when I thought that I had put in enough work, I did probably like 95% of projects when I was there. I did everything possible. First, it was my passion to help. Then it was the education and the training that I was having there. That is where I got to discover most parts of myself, even my speaking abilities, where I developed myself a lot. So after all this, and in my last year, when I felt that I should be president of SIFE, I wasn't given the opportunity to be president of SIFE. Another person was chosen. In fact, Gabriel Kinakpalu was chosen over me as president. And within me, I said to myself, but Gabriel has one more year to leave school. Why would you want him as president? Why not me? I think that I deserve this. Probably more than he does. In fact, way back, that was what I felt and thought. And it was so painful. It was so piercing. I had to even stop going for meetings for some weeks. But usually in our final year, because of the project work that we have to do, most final year students are not very regular at meetings. So then in my case, it was assumed that because I have project work to do, I wasn't necessarily regular at meetings. But it was just more than having project work to do. It was the pain of not having to be president. So I went through this pain for a couple of weeks, and I said, okay, in all this while that I have been with SIFE, our slogan in SIFE IPS then has been, you do not need a position to function. And I had to prove it at this point that really, if I did not need a position to function, then I need to overcome this. Trust me, I am saying it as easy as it is today, but it was no easy thing for me to do back then. So I went through the weeks of pain, nursing it, started going for meetings, not because I was done with the pain that I was feeling, but I was trying to prove that indeed I do not need a position to function in SIFE. And many of us are out there. In James 3 and 13, the Bible says that if you have wisdom, I'm paraphrasing, so if you have wisdom and knowledge and understanding of something, then show it by your meekness, by the things that you do. And by meekness, in this sense, I want to put this in perspective, the ability to serve under seemingly people who are lower than you, or your subordinates, or younger than you. Many a times that is the struggle that we go through, that I feel that I know more than this person, so I would not listen to him or her. I feel that this person, now wait a ben or by, have been here so long a time. When did this person come in? He or she does not know the ins and outs of this. I deserve it. I am telling you that sometimes it is the only way that we can learn. For me, it was my turning point. I had felt before then that, I can work with everyone. I can work under everybody. I don't need a position to do it. I just need to do it, and it will be that. But no, until God has taught me that lesson, I believe, I did not know that I wasn't totally, or I wouldn't have totally been able to seemingly serve under people who are younger than me or in lower ranks than I have. And that was a valuable lesson for me. Fast forward in about 2015 or 16, thereabouts, about 2 years ago now, or even 3 years back, I have to serve under younger people in church. And many a times, people thought that we're of the same age. I don't mind. But they didn't know that a chunk of the experience I had was what happened back in 2011, 2012, that nobody knew, that I would call the wilderness experience that God took me through. So today, I can work pretty much under anyone. I am not moved by position necessarily. I will do my best. I need to do my work. It will be done. I don't care what position you put me. I don't care who you put over me or under me. We have work to do and work has to be done. So let us go out there learning, especially from people that we feel are lower in rank than us or younger than us, and just taking our time, slowing down and listening to them. Most of the valuable thing, in the case of Saif then, after going back to meetings and participating in everything that we had to do, when I was leaving school, I said to myself, I think that indeed Gabi deserved to have been president, and he was president, because most of the innovation that he brought into the group, I wasn't even thinking half of it. He transformed the group. He got everybody to rally on. And for me, that's one thing I love about Gabriel. He gets everybody to rally on. He gets everybody's input. He consults people to get the work done. And most of the things that he did, I wouldn't have been able to do it. It was a very valuable, painful experience. But today, it has really, 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 really helped me.